All the meeting order, stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Thank you very much. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Nordby? Here. Excuse me, Councilmember Woods?
Here.
Councilmember McKenzie?
Here.
Councilmember Schweer?
Here.
Mayor Monge?
Here. Thank you very much. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda, please?
So moved.
So moved. Councilmember Kinsey, seconds Woods. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Consent agenda, item A, February 17th, 2026, City Council Workshop and Regular Meeting Minutes. Item B, General Claims of $1,223,685.27. Item C, HRA Claims of $19,235.83. Item D, Building Permits for February of 2026. Item E, Resolution accepting donations for February of 2026. Item F, Electric Department purchase of pad mount transformers. And item G, 2025 police employees suspense hour overages. Looking for a
Thank you very much. Would anybody like to pull anything at this time? If not, can I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved. Councilmember Kinsey.
Second.
Second, Councilmember Woods. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Next is, we're going to go to open the meeting to the public. I do want to say a couple things here as far before we get started. One of the few jobs the mayor has that's a little bit different than everybody else is I'm in charge of running the meeting. So I do have a couple changes that I would like to put into effect. We've been having some issues sometimes with going over, and just wanted to touch base on that again. So it is 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, I will say thank you, and if it continues, I do have the button where I'll be able to stop the conversation. It's been getting a little bit, I want to keep it in check. So it's the 3 minutes from there, thank you, and then if it continues, then I'm going to have to hit the button on it. So just wanted to say that up front. John Schmall, next.
John Schmall, 2750 Chisholm Avenue, Council, Mayor. Two quick items. I got a copy of my, where I have my cabin in northern Wisconsin, a big city of 360 souls, and they had a note of receiving a solar bench from Excel. And evidently, this is an item that has solar panels on it, and you can charge your phones from this bench. I think somebody ought to look into it in the electric utility. It'd be better than that stupid air purifier of last year. I don't need an air purifier. Anyway, but just a suggestion to have something on there about North St. Paul Utility solar bench. Second item is I'm hoping that you will tell the populace about ALPRs. And if you don't know what an ALPR is, you can ask the officer here that's here today and what that's all about. Will you be telling the city residents about ALPRs and that you'll be putting them up? And where will they be? I was here 2 meetings ago and I asked the officer, just said ALPRs, and he went like this. And I said, how many? And he went like this. So I assume you will be telling the citizens that you will have ALPRs and where they will be. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Write that down. See what that's about. Thank you. All right, appreciate it. If there's nobody else, we will move on to city business.
Thank you, Mayor. First item up is Article 7, the HUD closing documents for approval. We have Community Development Director Ken here to discuss. Mr. Roberts.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Before you this evening are 5 documents that the owners of Article 7 are asking for city approval of. They are seeking to refinance their mortgage with HUD, And to do so, they need to clean up some outstanding matters involving the city. In a really condensed version, all these requirements are coming from HUD. First of all, they weren't the city's idea, and we're just facilitating it so they can refinance their current mortgage into a HUD-backed mortgage going forward. So there's a draft amendment to the development contract, which it is an acknowledgement that the project is complete and there's nothing deficient at this point with the project. Related to that, there's a certificate of completion that we have confirmed as a city that from all the city requirements that the project again is complete. And it doesn't void the warranty work, but just rather that they've completed everything that they need to for the project on the city side. There's a MPCA environmental covenant, and that is to ensure that any remaining potential contamination is dealt with appropriately, and this gets recorded against the property, and it's, again, a requirement of MPCA as part of the initial cleanup, and that continues on, I think, for the life of the building, however long that goes. There's a reassignment of TIF payments because it was supported by TIF. Now they're going to be making those payments to HUD rather than to the developer directly. Again, another HUD requirement. And lastly, if you recall, not too long ago, probably in February, you approved a sump pump agreement for this project, and that was to allow their sump pump to discharge into the sanitary sewer. And they are, again, HUD is now requiring an anti-deficiency provision to ensure, again, that that carries on and there's no outstanding matters. All of these items have been reviewed by the city attorney, and he's comfortable with them, and so it's our recommendation that the council approve all 5 requested items and authorize the mayor and city manager to assign them as may be necessary. Jack, is familiar with them if you have questions, and the developer's attorney is here as well if needed.
Questions? We're all good? You, attorney?
Yes, sorry, Your Honor.
Sorry, I should use names, shouldn't I?
I reviewed all of the documents. My description is in the memo that is before the council, and I would recommend approval.
Good, well, there we go.
There you go.
Can I have, for the Article 7 HUD closing documents approval, can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
So move. Councilmember McKenzie?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Nordby. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Appreciate the work on it.
Thank you.
Sorry you didn't get a chance to say hi.
All right, next item up is the coin press purchase authorization resolution. Ken, are you discussing, or
We're
we're
going to have a
Mr. Sonic?
little joint presentation.
You did, Tom.
Mr. Mayor, members of the Arts and Culture Commission here, Tom Sonic and Carrie Nadeau. They put together this PowerPoint. I will help run it, and they will talk a little bit about what the Arts and Culture Commission has been doing, and then we'll have some information on the coin press machine as well.
Mr. Mayor, council members, city manager, city staff, thank you for having us here. Really appreciate it. I want to start first by expressing our gratitude that this city has an Arts and Culture Commission. We think that this can really make a difference in our city, and it's been proven that it makes a difference in lots of cities throughout the country and the world. It can help revitalize. It creates a sense of place, reflecting our local culture and history. It builds community pride and engagement. And we see it not really as a decoration, but really a core infrastructure for livability and growth. And I think we're starting to see some evidence of this in North St. Paul already. We have seen some, I've noticed, social media influencers. I'm not really too familiar with this, but people who have come to North St. Paul and taken pictures, visited our city, and then they put them up on the social media sites. And you can see in their pictures that they're sharing and talking about the town. Pictures of the snowies, not just the big snowy, but the little snowies. Pictures of the murals, pictures of the utility wrap. So that's kind of exciting. And I think it helps people engage with the city more. So we really appreciate the city for making this part of what we do here in North St. Paul, and we think that this can make a difference. And secondly, I want to take just a second too to, on the second slide here, I'll talk about our agenda. There's a picture of our current commission and even our newest member who's, I don't know, 4 months old now? Yeah. So we have a full group here. We also have a student commissioner who's not in the picture right now, but we've had some outstanding student commissioners, both of whom who have aspirations to be president of the United States, and I'm not kidding. And either of them or both of them could someday be. I mean, we've got some really talented youth here in North St. Paul, so it's really fantastic. And we've had some awesome members of the commission. Margaret Mead said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." And I don't say that we're changing the world, but we're changing our world here in North St. Paul by making it a more livable and engaging space. So I want to thank our commissioners for their dedication. We have some extraordinarily dedicated people, and Carrie Netto here being one of them, and we have another member, Raquel, in the back, so thanks for being here. Okay. I want to just talk a little bit about what we've been up to, and then I'm going to talk about what's next, and then Carrie's going to talk a little bit about a penny press, which is an exciting new artistic, cultural-related thing that we're proposing for purchase for the city from our Arts Commission budget. So what we've been up to. So public art has been a main part of what we do, and you can see from the pictures here, and if you walk around town at all, sculpture and other public art. So Project Snowy, that was a big one that we completed a couple of years ago. That was a long time in the making, but with coordination with local businesses, we were able to get that done, and I think that's really great, seeing the Snowies around town. We did create a snowman brand that I don't know has been used yet, but it's something that will be used in new construction projects. So Morgan back there will have to be aware of this as we're building new sidewalks or curbs, that we can brand that Snowy into the sidewalks. And it's just kind of a fun, whimsical thing for people to kind of see. Like, I was just at downtown St. Paul today, and I saw some more of that sidewalk poetry where they kind of stamp it right into the concrete sidewalk. I think that's so cool. And so we were talking about doing something like that and came up with the snowman brand that would be stamped in. And then Snowy signs, yard art. Honest to God, we're really not trying to do everything be a snowman and snowman related. I'm kind of like thinking we got to put a moratorium on it. People love this. Yeah, so there may be more snowman things, but we got to branch out, and we did. So look at our murals. So Silver Lake Park, the amazing mural that was done there on the bathroom building. And then the Sepola garage that we pulled off really quickly with one of our local artists, just really brightens up the downtown area. Utility boxes, that's been an ongoing project that we've been doing every year. And we try and knock out like a few of those every year. It won't last forever, but but right now we're continuing, we still see some great opportunities to add some more of those. And you can see there are some that are downtown. Casey Lake Park will be going in, and this is back, I don't know what side you call that, but I call it the back side where the little ball field is. There'll be one back there right at the start of the trail. North High, there was one that we coordinated with the students there, and we had a design contest for that with the students at North. We have some on 7th Avenue and the one on Veterans Park, which is a great addition there. And fun fact, the design of the utility box at Veterans Park was the same artist who designed our Snowy right outside of City Hall. So, little artistic history for you there. And then cultural events, so this has been something that we've really tried to do as well as get people involved in the arts. So not just public art, but how can people get involved in creating art and seeing art and participating somehow. And some of the things that we've been doing, so the art cart, I remember this when I was a little kid. We had the art cart at Casey Park. It was really awesome. And so there was this old wagon or, trailer that was sitting in Public Works, and we painted that thing orange, and we had it at the car show one night and had residents come and put their handprints on it and do all kinds of art on top of that thing. And we've been using that, most of that music in the parks. And then we've also had it at the car show. So open the doors and let kids come around and engage them in creating some art of their own, and some adults get involved too, and that's cool. And so, like I said, music in the parks and Big Truck Night. Art nights, this is where we've had artist-led, what would you call them, like a class or a workshop. And the participants do have to have a little skin in the game. They pay what, like $10? So they can participate and make something really cool. Carrie, what are some of the items they've made? Blankets.
Blankets, they did
Mugs.
the arm knit blankets, they made the mandala on mugs, they did a lot of painting, watercolor painting is a favorite, so lots of that.
All kinds of really different, unique artistic styles and things that are explored, and those are at the park building at Casey. And that's been really neat and engaging with artists that are leading our folks through those things. In 2023, we had 3 of those. 2024, we had 5, and then 2025, we had 6. And this year, we kind of figured that's our sweet spot, 6 per year. And that's also something nice that we can do those in the winter because we have the Casey Park building. So it gives activities available in kind of those off months. Everything gets so busy in the summer, but this allows us to have some activities available at other times of the year. And then the Autumn Arts Festival. So this is continuing to grow, and we're really excited about that. We're going to be moving downtown this year, which is really cool. But this has been in Casey Park, and Ava has really helped take the lead on this, but we really grew from this small thing, and every year we're just like, okay, well, let's see what we can do. Let's see what comes of it. And people keep coming. We keep having more success. We get more artists involved, and it continues to grow. So we say, okay, we got something here. Let's keep moving. So we've tested it, tried it to see how it would work, and it's working. And it's been great to see a lot of you at the Autumn Arts Festival every year as well. And the National Night Out. So we were a presence there in the fire department building, helping people make snowy signs. There's that snowman again. Here it is again on the agenda. There it is right there. It's everywhere. Can't get away from it. So what's next? So public art, so sculpture and other public art. So the Penny Press, Carrie's going to tell you about that. And this year, murals, I just want to say a little bit about murals. We've always had this as kind of a subcommittee and had budget dollars available so that we could execute a mural quickly. But one of the things we've engaged with business owners in town to help participate in getting a mural done on their building if they're interested. There hasn't been a whole lot of interest just yet. There has been some interest early on, but so we continue to work and see if something's there that we can work with them. Public spaces, we're kind of limited on the public spaces that we have. So now we're kind of looking at, can we maybe bring in some sculpture that could maybe fit in different places in the city? So we're looking at options there. And then murals I jumped ahead there. So the business collaboration, the Historical Society Museum. So we kind of stepped into a partnership with the Historical Society last year. Looked like we were going to move forward with that. And then we just... we didn't feel like that one was going to live up to the quality that we expect from the commission. I hope you can trust us that we're not going to spend our taxpayer dollars. These are our dollars too, right? Because we live here. We're not going to spend those dollars if we don't think it's the right thing to do, and if we don't think it's going to be a home run for the city. So we step back from that in coordination with the Historical Society, but something may still come of that with the Historical Society at some day. This year, not sure. Maybe next, we'll see. Okay, and then utility boxes, more coming. Silver Lake Park, there's one coming this year. Casey Lake Park, that's one that I think the one I mentioned earlier. Events, art carts, so we got a new trailer. So this is really cool. So we got this new trailer, so we don't have to worry so much about that big door coming down and slamming you on the head. But it didn't happen, thank God, but I was always worried like that thing was going to come down and crush me. But this new trailer is really nice, so we're looking forward to using that one. We'll be at Big Truck Night again. And then at Music in the Parks, I think at 3?
There's 2 this year.
2 this year, okay. And then Art Night, I already mentioned there are 6 events this year, and the Autumn Arts Festival. So this will be our 5th one now, so it's pretty cool. And we're going to be downtown. Ava's spearheading that, and so we're really excited about what can become of that. So really appreciate, and National Night Out will be there again. So appreciate all the support. We hope you're starting to see some of the fruits of our labor and the fruits of your support that are showing up throughout the whole city. It's been pretty cool. Thanks.
Awesome. Well, first, I need to say thank you to Ron and his crew for amazing job plowing. Yay, Ron! And I have to say thank you to Lisa, his wife, who's going to lead our art night this Thursday. And we're completely full. We've got one person on the waiting list. I'm really excited about it because I love making art with Lisa, and she's donating her time. So she's a volunteer for us for this event, which is great. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Penny press. So we all know what a penny press is, right? You go in, you pay your 51 cents or whatever, and you get a little penny smushed out of it. Why a penny press when pennies are no longer being made? I'm glad you asked. You can either use, right? You could either use copper blanks. So the vendor we're working with in Colorado does have copper blanks we can use. We can also use nickels and dimes. And so our commission discussed and we decided nickels, cheaper, might as well go with the nickel route. I mean, and more surface area, right? They're thicker.
What do I do with all their pennies?
Oh my God, right? Yeah, I think they can retrofit it to still fit all your old pennies, so we can do it. So the History Cruisers, I have confirmed permission from them to use that logo, so we're set there. The other 3 are works in progress, so I'm working with Ava, but this is our initial 4 round of designs. So we've got Henry Castle, we've got the Giant Snowman, we've got the History Cruisers, because you can't think of North St. Paul without the History Cruisers. And then the palette and paintbrush is not going to be the final design, that's just clip art that I found, but that's to represent our Autumn Arts Festival. I mean, this is the Arts Commission putting this penny press together, so I really felt that our committee actually felt that it made sense for us to have something that represented the arts in North St. Paul. So we were going with the palette and brush. I am talking to Ava about a new logo for the Autumn Arts Festival, which I think would be much better than that clip art in there. But yeah, so that's the impetus of the penny press machine. It has wheels, so we can take it places if we ever wanted to. I know that staff is at capacity with what they're already doing. We're already planning to put a sign on there that says that there will be no change made at the front desk because staff does not have the time to handle that. Any technical issues they cannot help with, so we will have to lean on our wonderful Public Works Department, unfortunately, for support in that area. But that is our plan for the penny press. Oh, and there's more information about it, and that's what it looks like. They have the blue that matches our blue. So it's like it was planned. It was like it was meant to be. I'm very excited. Any questions?
You're a good salesperson.
Oh, thank you.
Man, holy moly.
I try.
Very good. Yeah, it's a cool looking machine.
Yeah,
Didn't realize it was that big.
yeah, I'm excited.
It doesn't require electricity.
No.
That's what that old crank is, huh? Back when you used to start your car back in the day.
Yeah. I still start the dozer that way.
That's right. Any questions, anybody?
I do have one. Great work. I really thank you. And this is more of a technical question for me. This will be the first time that I know of that I voted on something for the city that generates new revenue. And I was surprised reading it that there wasn't something that said where that revenue went. It's even more of a technical question, but so the city's putting in something in place that just going to take in a couple bucks. I mean, I hope, eventually it pays for itself, but there was nothing that said what happens to those couple bucks. That surprised me in the legal wording. Is that?
That's a good
I
question.
think it's a fair statement.
Yeah.
And I don't know who to ask that question.
General fund?
I mean, I'd like to propose back to you guys. I mean, it's the machine's being paid for. Again, on Tom's end, it might not happen quickly.
Right, and again, I'm not opposed to that. I was just surprised that the resolution or the code didn't spell that out.
Check.
What do you do with our pennies?
I mean, it's a good question. I think it would be a good thing to address. I think that would be a good decision for the council to make. There's not necessarily any restrictions on where you could put that money. It could go to the general fund. It could go back to the Arts and Culture Commission budget. that would just be a decision for the council.
I mean, I think right now our art night monies go back to the general fund, is that right?
I think so.
I think
yes.
so, yeah. So, I mean, that's the precedent. I don't know if you want to follow that or if you want to,
Arts Festival, art nights,
Yeah.
all that, it goes back to the general fund, so.
And again, I'm for it. I plan on
Totally,
voting
yeah.
yes. I just want to be transparent with all the residents and
Yeah.
say where the
here's
couple
what's
bucks goes to.
happening. Absolutely, appreciate that.
Well, you know what I'm thinking? What happens if you guys at least repaid back your money for the costs that you guys are gonna have for the delivery charge and the drop shipping charge of the lift gate? That's a lot of money coming off the truck like that for their service to drop the gate, because it's $400.
Yeah,
At least get that paid for, and then
Sure.
we
Yeah.
make a decision where it goes, you know?
yep, yep.
Great idea, yeah,
Because that's the first thing you want to pay back what you're losing by the truck delivery.
yeah.
Sure, yeah, yeah. So totally, we're open. I'll leave it to city manager to fight that out with all of you all, but
We're just volunteers.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
You guys have your yearly budget, excuse me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they get it, you get it back.
Right.
But general fund is just fine. You guys still have your budget.
I think this is a great idea. The only concern I have is that because we have limited hours here at City Hall, how often are people going to be able to visit, especially when it's the work week and they open early, they close fairly early, business hours, right? Is City Hall the perfect place to put it? Have you guys discussed other areas to place it?
I mean, City Hall made the most sense to us, just because people come, I mean, I come in here and pay my bills here, so I'm in here once a month, plus being here for Arts Commission. But yeah, I mean, that's why I was excited about the wheels. I didn't realize that it would be a challenge for staff. I should have thought of that, but, yeah, that was the place we thought made the most sense, because it is centrally located. It is kind of the hub of our city, or the heart of our city, but open to other ideas.
I did not know about the wheels option, which was a
Yeah.
really good idea. And maybe it's another option to place it out on the car show night. like the after the
Exactly,
car show,
yeah.
like-
Or the Arts Festival. or-
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Knowing that that's going to be downtown this year, I think that's a great idea as well.
Right, you just
So,
wheel it right over, but.
depending on how heavy it is, I'm assuming it's not that heavy, but you never know. So I think it's a great idea. Location was one of those. Like,
yeah, maybe the
great
Casey
point.
Park building throughout the summer or something.
Oh, that's
you
a good
know?
idea,
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe it rotates.
that's a good idea, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that as well as we're brainstorming a rotating coin press. Hey,
Sounds fun.
I'm sure Ron can lift it.
Oh, yeah, he can do anything.
this team.
Yeah, see, he said yes. He's got it.
So I guess I would just say revisit, like, how often can
Yeah.
if we can move it. I mean, obviously, if it's heavy, but we want people to be aware of it.
Right.
So if you have children that want to come and see and try the penny press, which I see it, when I was a kid, I did it. My kids like to do it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming others do too. It's very nostalgic, having the ability for people to use it.
Yeah.
So.
Great feedback, thanks.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Throw it up for a vote.
Thanks for the time, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you for
appreciate it,
the
everyone.
presentation.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, there was a staff report in your packet, and there is a resolution.
Yep, that's what I was gonna do next here. So, a resolution for the coin press purchase authorization, resolution. Can I have a motion?
Excuse me, I'll make a motion.
No move? There
for
you go.
that.
All right, Councilmember Schweer, second? Second. Second, Councilmember Woods. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, gang.
Thank you. All right, next up is special event ordinance update. Back to Community Development Director, Mr. Roberts.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, we bring before you, my staff and myself, an update, proposed update to the special event permit ordinance. City's had this ordinance in place since 2008, and through our experiences in the last couple of years, we found there's some ways to improve the processes and make it easier for the users and city staff So we're proposing a few changes to the ordinance. The biggest change, I would say, is, and I don't know why that's still up there.
Still showing the penny machine.
Yeah, I know, what the, just a minute, pardon. Take that off. Okay, well, wait. Come on, there we go. Let me close that. There we go, thank you. We are proposing to create two different types of special event permits. One we're calling now a special event registration, and this is proposed to be for the smaller events that would occur on private property, do not require city services, and would have no more than one mobile food vendor. We wouldn't charge a fee or a registration for these, but we would want an applicant to fill out the paperwork and application. So we as a city were aware of it. We can notify police, fire if we need to, and then there's documentation. If they're having a small event, we don't feel it necessary to have them pay a fee, go through all the licensing requirements. This could be, for example, if you're having a graduation party. Maybe you have one mobile food vendor come, it's on your private property. That's great, doesn't need any city services, let's keep that simple. The primary special event permit would remain the same. That fee remains the same at $80 plus a $15 processing fee. The definition has changed a little bit where we now make it clear this would be for events on public property that require city services and or have more than one mobile food vendor. So again, the larger events such as the car show, for example, is an example of that. To facilitate this, we're proposing new definitions, again, clearly defining what a special event permit is, adding the new definition of special event registration. Again, that's for the smaller events that do not need city services and are on private property. For any of these, we are asking or suggesting in the ordinance that applicant provide the city a complete site plan, which would indicate the location of the vendors, stages, tents, sanitary facilities, many things that we should have all the time. It wasn't clear in the ordinance, so we're adding that as just clearly outline what we expect with an application. For your request, we're putting the timeline that they submit their applications at least 45 days before the event to ensure we get enough staff time to review that, answer questions, get more information from an applicant if needed. If we get an application less than 45 days before the date, we can expedite it, but there will be an additional fee that the city would charge for that. And then we will provide the forms, and again, they would be submitted through the city and approved by the city manager. If, as part of this with the mobile food vendors, we are also clarifying that the city will need a complete list of the mobile food vendors at least 14 days prior to the event. And that again allows time for their inspections, their license or their insurance checks, verifying that they have the necessary inspections from Ramsey County. If the city receives those lists 13 days or less than the event, we're putting in the ordinance that we cannot guarantee all the requested vendor licenses can be processed by staff. We will try, we'll do our best, but if there's a flood of things that come in at the last minute, we're making it clear that we don't want to promise 100% that we'll be successful every time. We're also adding language that staff may deny the application due to the event location being unavailable, and we would notify the applicant within 5 business days. If for some reason we come up with some kind of a conflict or problem that we weren't aware of, we'll certainly notify an applicant. Those are the highlights of the proposed changes. I'll take questions if there are any. Otherwise, we have for you tonight 2 actions. There's an ordinance we're recommending approval that changes the special event ordinance as outlined in this report. And there's also a resolution that approves the proposed amendments to the fee schedule because there are some fee changes outlined as well. With that, I'll take questions.
I have one question. For the special event registration, for things like, you mentioned like graduation parties and things like that, for events being held at like Casey Lake or Housie Park or things like that, is the reservation of the shelter the inherent special event registration, or is that a separate process that would need to be completed?
Councilmember Woods and members of the council, that's a separate thing.
Okay.
If I could just chime in a little bit. The definition of special event is an event that is open to the general public. So something like a graduation party where you're inviting, friends and family, but not necessarily people walking in off the street would not necessarily qualify as a special event that needs a permit.
Okay, okay.
Thank you for the clarification.
Can you speak to the approval process? Right now, my understanding is the current special event permits come before the council.
Correct.
Would both of those type of approvals or either or still need to come before the council?
Councilmember Nordby and the members of the council, and I've got this on the screen, the special event registration is a staff approval only. It does not require city council. Again, we're trying to simplify the smaller events that don't have a big impact that staff can approve those. Special event permits, like they do now, would come back to the council as they always have.
Thank you for that clarification. I appreciate that.
And is that specific to having a mobile food vendor only at a private property?
No. They don't even have to have a mobile food vendor to require the registration.
So,
Well, wait, I'm sorry. Let's be clear. I want to make sure I'm not. So the special event permits, or registration, excuse me, it's when a special event occurs on private property, does not require city services, and has no more than one mobile food vendor. So if they do have one mobile food vendor coming to their property, then that would require the registration.
okay.
If they don't have any,
So if I'm going to use just graduation party because it's on the table. So if I'm having a graduation party for my family member, whether they live at the house or not, I don't have to come to the city to register. It's only specific if I use a mobile food vendor.
correct.
Okay.
Now, does that food vendor have to park on the property or on the street, that city street? Then they would need a permit.
We haven't clarified that, but we can certainly make that a condition if need be. If they should be or kept on the private property, we can do that.
So to clarify, one of the things coming to my mind is one of the local bars is a rotten corn feed. It's contained entirely in their own parking lot.
Yep.
There's no mobile food vendors.
Right.
Currently, they have to get a special event permit. So something like that would no longer need an event permit because it's held entirely on their property. Is that accurate?
But they may need city services, whether it's fire or police or security or, so it,
I think one could say the same thing for a house too. I mean, if something were to happen with a mobile food vendor on a city street in front of my house, and we need local fire, local police, whatever that is, I mean, one can argue that as well.
I still think it should come through council. Just so everyone's aware of what's going on.
Or would that just fall under a registration?
Well, that was the goal of having the registration. If it's a small event on private property with no more than one vendor, we as the staff are trying to make it easier for those folks to get a registration so the city knows about it, but not overburden them with a timeline with city council and,
Would one vendor make enough money to go to graduation?
Well, that doesn't matter. That has nothing to do.
Yeah,
What about, it seems like what threw this in is the one Jason
yeah.
brought up. So what, as far as, because yours was it called a corn feed? or
A
something?
Broughton corn feed.
Private.
Broughton corn
event.
feed, okay.
I know what a local bar has. It's self-contained within their parking lot. They do not do any food trucks for it because they're doing the rotten corn. So I guess the question is what is city services? What is that definition?
Because they're not using public works, correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Yep, correct.
So,
they probably would not need a permit then, based
You know-
on this definition.
And there might be one that a local church does too, that would no longer need I'll just throw that pen. That would no longer need a permit, not their big one, but a smaller one.
Yeah, the big variable is probably the number of mobile food vendors and the inspections that those require. And they also, if it's open to the public versus a private party, like a graduation party where it's,
So after all these scenarios were thrown out, are we still comfortable with how everything's written? As far as what you're,
we are, but if the council would like,
I didn't know if anything changed your thoughts or anything like that after some questions were brought up, because, I just want to make sure we're still on the same page.
it's great, you're putting me on the spot, but it's great. Yes, I can certainly see where there could be some gray areas or not clear. If the council has some specific things you'd like us to relook at and bring it back, we can certainly do that if there's questions.
I mean, I understand the purpose of the special event registration. For a homeowner, for the corn feed, I get it. Let's make our city services aware of it, because if we do get a call, whatever it looks like, we have that. I see a lot of confusion that this could cause too, and clarification. I think we just need to, I don't know if the wording needs to be redone.
Anything else, once you start talking about it a little more,
Yeah.
and things come up, if everybody feels that, that it needs to maybe be worded,
For my help, is it the definitions that are, or just
Well, when I
what
first-
what applies?
Yeah,
to
when I first heard about it, it sounds like just a graduation or some party like that, but now all of a sudden we're getting restaurants and, or different places involved too. So it's kind of creeped in, and are we comfortable with that? Because right now, if they do their corn and brat, do they have to get a permit now?
We approve the permit every year. We have.
Okay, so now, are we comfortable with that type of thing going just to not have to do it? That's where the clarification is how everybody feels about that.
And that's a valid question on mayor's end right there too. Is the council comfortable with that, as we're now moving to this piece of having a registration versus a special event permit? To me, I'll give my opinion, I'm fine with it as long as it brings clarity to what are the expectations if it is a business owner or a bar, whatever it is. If they are handling everything on their property, they're doing the cleanup, they're doing, it's corn, it's not a mobile food, they're doing it all. I think a registration is just fine, but there could be one to argue that it's, why do they get that? And I have to have a special event permit. It's the exact same event. I just see some phone calls coming into City Hall.
One of the things I would say to Councilmember McKenzie's point, if we do go forward with this, and personally I think I am in favor, I would appreciate like a monthly email though of the approved ones, just so we're aware of the events.
So would the, I have a question, so would the registration for the, not a permit, just to notify the city of, the extra capacity? Does this bring an extra 100 customers to that business, so just the city's aware of that? Was that the idea behind that?
The intent was just for city awareness. And then if we get phone calls, then we can say, well, they registered with the city and they got their staff approval versus going to the council.
So we will know about it, the staff will know about it.
Yes. Well, Mr. Mayor, I see two options. If you're comfortable with it, we want to give it a try for this year, move forward with it. If you want some more clarity on private events and when's a special event versus a registration needed, we can go back and, I hate the term, workshop it a little more and then bring it back to you if you want some changes. We want to get this in place for the summer, clearly, coming up, but we got a little time. We could.
Right now, for that one, we voted on for it, so that brought us what more information than just them saying, hey, we're doing it, and the staff does it. To come into us, what more does that do does that make any difference to have it come to us, or just to have it go to staff, or go in and say, we're getting this permit, we're good, off you go, instead of special event? I don't know if I'm wording this correctly, what brings it up to that hierarchy, and what we'd be losing not having special event going to this? Is there anything that, as far as information or anything like that, or is it just a need to know?
I would say it's just the need to know. And again, we're trying to streamline for the smaller events that don't have a public input or impact. Just so we're aware of it, we can notify police and fire just so they're aware of it.
And you guys will be doing that just with the permit part?
Yes.
So then I'm comfortable with that, because at least people are knowing, because, we're every 2 weeks or, twice a month, and, be able to pull in front like that, then now that makes sense to me. We still know, it's just the staff saying, okay, let the city people know that we're having this event, they're having this event on Saturday.
Yes.
So I think anybody else, is everybody good with
really,
that?
it comes down to whether city services are required at the event at the time.
Yep.
And it's more of an awareness that, hey, if something does come up, there's 100 people potentially at this place, and one of those may need medical or police or.
And they could
something
happen
may
any
come up.
day, at any event. Somebody could walk into Newman's and fall, and it's not an event, but we still have to do it. So it really doesn't make that difference, I don't think.
Correct.
Would we still get a notification through the council, though, at least what could be happening, or this will be just thrown out through the?
I don't think the council
Yes,
needs to
needs to
know.
know.
The council doesn't need to know. I think staff, that's their job. All right, does everybody sound okay with that? Now, there's one thing on here. What do you want us, you said 2 things to vote on, so you read it. First one, we'll vote.
Thank you. So first one on the screen is we're recommending approval of the ordinance that approves the amendments to the special event permit as outlined this evening in the report. And then the second item is about the fee schedule.
Okay, first item, the amendment for the permit. Do I have a motion on that?
I'll make a motion.
Councilmember Schweer? Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Nordby. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And again, the second item is a resolution that approves the proposed amendments to the 2026 fee schedule that's included in the staff report and the
Perfect.
attachments.
I'll make a motion to that as well.
Thank you, Councilmember Schweer. Second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Woods. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, last up on the city business action items and recommendations. Item D is the 2026 pavement management project, city project number 26-01. Receive bid and award contract and authorize professional construction services. And Morgan's here to give us the good news.
You only have
Oh,
half
we
an
already
hour
broke
now.
the surprise, the good news. That's good to hear.
Thanks, Brian. Mr. Mayor, members of the council. So this next item here before you is to consider the bids and award a construction contract for the 2026 pavement management project, and also authorize professional services for the construction administration, contract administration observation during the construction process. So as you may recall, this project has been before you before. The streets are, this is primarily pavement replacement. We do have a small area of water main replacement that Public Works had identified. All of the streets were identified by Public Works previously. We're talking about sections of First Street between Navajo and Indian, Mohawk between 17th Avenue and McKnight, 7th Street north of Highway 36 to 9th Avenue, Cowan from 7th Ave to 6th Street, 6th Street from Holloway to 7th Ave, Cowan from McKnight to First Street, Memory Lane and Memory Court, and Polaris Place and Polaris Court, as well as a bid alternate, which I've mentioned previously to the council, for Skillman between McKnight and 3rd Street approximately. And the good news is the bids came in very good. So we do have it within the budget to complete the base bid plus the alternate of Skillman.
Nice.
And so that is the recommendation and proposal before you here tonight. The bids received range, if we just include the alternate altogether with the base bid, the bids range between 2.12 million and 2.49 million. If you take out that high bidder, actually all of the bids were all within $100,000, which is usually a good sign. That means things were pretty clear to the contractors, plans were good, specs were good, fairly competitive situation here, and so we feel really good that this was a good representation of the true cost of the project. Low bid was just slightly under the engineer's estimate, so everything did come in where we were hoping for. It's within budget for all the different funding components as I laid out in the memo. And so I'll stand for any questions. You've heard about the project before. One note also just pertaining to construction, we are going to plan some version of a neighborhood open house or something like that, just to invite folks out to, pre-construction to learn more about the project so they know what's going on. But we haven't selected a date or anything, so we'll work with Ava on that moving forward to put together a meeting. And as always, I can recommend that you consider the bids and adopt by resolution or authorize by resolution a construction contract to the low bidder of Valley Paving in the amount of $2,124,447.45. The second action item is to consider WSB proposal for professional services. I can't recommend that. So if you do need a recommendation, that might need to come from the city manager. But with that, I'll stand for any questions the council might have before considering action on this item.
Well, thank you for that information. Does anybody have any questions? I know we've been talking about this one. It's good to get it on the books.
It's nice to be able to get the alternative in there as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Yeah, we were pleased with the bid results. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice job.
Yeah.
So
All right, I'll ask for a motion on the 2026 pavement management project.
I will make a motion.
Councilmember Schweer.
I will second.
Second, Councilmember Woods. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And you got to do the one for him.
I would like to make a recommendation for WSB's professional construction services for this next.
Do I have a motion for that?
I
please?
will make a motion.
Councilmember Schweer
That
is my
recommendation.
leader today. Thank you.
I will second.
Second, Councilmember Woods. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Morgan, kind of like to say a special thanks to Mark Lynch for doing such a wonderful job.
Oh, that's really nice of you
wondering if you
to,
could-
yeah. So many of you might know Mark Lynch. He grew up here in town, knows almost everybody that if I'm standing next to him and we bump into a random resident, he has some sort of history with him. He's an employee of WSB. He's been with WSB for, probably about 10 or 15 years. Been in the construction industry for much longer than that. His dad actually worked for the city of North St. Paul, I think, proper, and then also did a lot of work with with an engineering consulting firm, different than WSB, but his dad's name is on a lot of different stuff from back in the day, and he is finally going to retire and hang it up this summer. So he's going to finish out doing the inspection and observation for what's left on the 2025 project up by Casey Lake. So he'll be with us, probably through July. But we will have a new inspector for this 2026 project, and I haven't met him yet, but I'm hearing good things, and so we will try to do a transfer of institutional knowledge between Mark and the new person, and yeah, I'm hopeful for good things with the new person, but certainly we thank Mark for all his several years and many, many projects worth of contributions for North St. Paul with WSB and just his family in general for North St. Paul infrastructure, I think, over the years. I mean, it's generational, it's decades and decades, and if you do see him, you know, give him a slap on the back and an attaboy, and we were all very lucky to have him, I think, over the years. So it'll be sad to see him go, but everybody needs to retire at some point, and I think this is a great time for him with grandkids and travel and all sorts of stuff. I think he's looking forward to it. So I kind of had to give him a little bit of extra, you know, come on, you can join us for the Casey Lake project for one more. So he might have retired like a year ago, but he's sticking with us to finish up that project, and I know he's very proud of what he's done, and it's always, I mean, I think we were just really lucky to have like a local person who just happened to work for WSB and was able to work on all these projects. So yeah, thank you to Mark. Thank you for bringing that up. That's a really good thing to recognize Mark Lynch for, so.
Great.
Thank you.
Well, we wish him the best.
Yes, happy retirement. All right, reports.
All right, next up, reports, city manager and departments. Last week, the League of Women Voters reached out to, which they usually host the forums for the new council members and mayors that may be running for whoever's up, and they're hoping to have it here in the council chambers on September 8th. We happen to have an EDA meeting that night, so we have that from about 4 to 5, and they are looking for from probably about 5 to 9, depending on how many people run and good stuff like that. But so more information to come on that, but I think that would be nice to hold here. Normally it was at the Legion previously. Some department updates. We had system inspection that the lecturer's been working on, as he kind of mentioned, but we also got Quick Trip has been reaching out and, you know, getting their permits and working with the electric department, because they're gonna have to have a generator run the building while they have to move the transformer and make way for their second wash bay that they have there. Communications has been participated in a grant writing workshop last week, so she's looking to be kind of touching base with the department heads and seeing the needs and what to look out for, and so I think she'll be a good addition for doing that. She's also working on booking the Autumn Arts Festival at the new locations, getting vendors lined up and getting stuff together, so it'll be nice to see. Finance, of course, has been wrapped up with the auditors last week. I just felt like a weight to lift off over Dan's shoulders. I mean, he feels better, so. And then we did hold the reviews for the finance coordinator position and interviews for that. And Melissa Alicia did start that on this Monday, so she will be working under the wing of Jackie and picking those skills up while she's still here till, I believe, the 22nd of May.
She
So
started this Monday or next Monday?
this Monday, yep.
Okay.
So we did the interviews last Friday, so yep, we're going to get her in right away and make sure because she's will be doing payroll and things like that, really important stuff. So learning the new systems, so I think she's going to do a really good job. She's also the one that went back to college to be an accountant, and so she's really driven, and it was really great to see that, and I think this is going to work out well. Police has one position open. It's still going to be open until the 27th, but they already have 30 applications for that position, so that's really great to see. They also have been working with the Motorola team. They've had some of their equipment has been coming in. This week, they're going to be doing a complete inventory, address wiring, potential server issues, and system anticipated to be operational hopefully by the end of the month, so that'll be good. Public Works, been busy. They keep an eye on the student-built house as well. That's all contained now and enclosed. They got the roof on, they got the windows in, the doors are on. Getting heat in there. They did pour some of the basement already. Got the plumbing in there before they did that, of course. But now they're working on the interior work of the building, so it's coming together. They got a really good start on street sweeping until this snow so rudely showed up. hopefully this will melt soon. They can finish that up and take care of the rest of that. Summer staffing is already out there. They got 4 applications in already and 6 applications for the horticulturist position. We did have one of our Public Works people that turned in their resignation notice. He's going to be going to his hometown for a job there, so that position will be posted here soon. So we're looking forward to seeing what that'll bring in. Fire's been busy with, they're doing their first live burn training for 2026. That's scheduled tomorrow out at the training center. They have several officers that are attending leadership training in Duluth this weekend, and they're doing some emergency vehicle operation training, which is also taking place this weekend. Also working with code compliance issues, addressing snow and parking and yard maintenance issues. They've created some door hangers that they can put out on there now, so a little quicker than coming back and having to type up a letter and then mailing that out, so just kind of streamlining that a little bit. And the access control system, you've probably seen some of the pads around. They got power to them now. They've lit up, so they're getting closer. They're still waiting on some parts that are back ordered, but shouldn't be too much longer. Community development, the McKnight use agreement with the school is in progress for the McKnight Fields, and also spending a lot of time doing cleanup day planning, and we had a meeting today on that actually, so really getting the finishing touches on it, and I believe Ava put that out for, it'll probably be advertised tomorrow, so that's coming up as well. That's all I got for you.
Thank you very much. Reports. Councilmember Schweer.
The only report I have is that Parks and Recreation will meet next Wednesday here at 6:30.
Thank you very much.
I have nothing.
All right.
Arts and Culture met after our last city council meeting, and I've got nothing to add beyond what the commissioners presented tonight, so.
Planning.
The next planning commission will be April 2nd. Come to these chambers here to come see me and Ken and have a good time.
There's one thing you and I had was EDA. We're gonna be doing,
Oh, yeah.
doing the parking lot. We're gonna be paving between Sidewinders and the tattoo place. So that's, was signed and turned in, so they're gonna get that cleaned up, because we were missing a bunch of pavement in the middle there where that old office doctor's building used to be. So that's in the plans here. It's gonna be hopefully early summer here, or late fall, late spring, excuse me.
Yep.
But, yep.
As the weight restrictions come off the roads and we get equipment in.
Yep, so we had some real competitive bids. It was actually about 20,000 cheaper than it was when we looked at this a couple years ago. So looking forward to having that done. It's going to be striped and ready to go. We also moved the sign, trying to focus on if we have development involved in town or people interested. We had a great EDA meeting. We had Jim Lavelle, did I say that right? Yep. He was here, kind of giving us a state of the union out there when it comes to different office buildings and different places, how development is going and things like that. So it was very informative about some shocking stuff too, about how much buildings have been selling for, commercial buildings. It was quite an eye-opener as far as that. And so we have our development sign moved over to the Margaret, further over across the street here. So that's the future development signs over there. And there's no, then we took down our public parking sign over there, because we're gonna have this one paved and we need to follow our own rules, so.
Indeed.
All right. New business, or general business, I'm sorry.
I don't have anything to share.
All right.
I had a hiccup at the house last night, and I apologize not making the historical meeting last night.
Oh,
We had an issue at the house.
okay. Well, that happens, for sure. Anything new for any of you guys?
I've got nothing.
All right.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
If you choose to celebrate, please do responsibly.
I have a couple things, so it's kind of fun. I actually texted Ron and say, can I go out for plowing? So we had a nice big storm, so Sunday, Brian Fry came up. I wish we had a video camera, America's Funniest Video, trying to watch me get into that truck I barely made it. But I went out for a couple hours on Sunday with the gang, so Brian and, I mean, it was like, told my wife, it was like a ballet. We were in the first truck, they came around the corner, they grabbed what we left over, then the next truck came along, and I just really give credit to our public works guys. They really are amazing how they can take care of that, and it's just flawless. All of a sudden we get to a corner, here comes the other guy around the corner. I don't know how they can time it like that. It's amazing. The trucks themselves, I was able to see all the joysticks, of course, watched them do that. There's a temperature of what the temperature is of the road, so they can do the mixture so the road was 31, the air temperature was 32, and just really a good time being able to ride around in that, just to see what they can do. So that was a fun event. Thank you for letting me participate in that. I waited, I wanted a big storm, and boy, that was it.
You know, I will piggyback off that, though. I do appreciate that one is after the other because I only have to shovel out my sidewalk in front of the house once.
Yeah.
I don't have to wait another hour. It's about 5 minutes later so thank you.
Yep. And right turns only, too. I learned that, and the route was cool.
So why the trucks are that close together, them are just on our main roads. So that's how that happens. And the reason why is because the roads are wider. So it would take one truck 3 passes to do that. So we do that way so we can, couple reasons, so we can do it in just one time and take care of it like that so we don't come back in an hour later, to do that.
Yeah.
On the side roads, the driver might go by, like the mayor said, we take all right turns so we don't leave any windrows crossing roads. So that's why sometimes you'll see a truck go by and you won't see them for a half hour or 40 minutes because they might be in an area taking all right-hand turns, and then once they're done with that, they come back and they take all right-hand turns again to catch the other side of the road. So I just want people to think, hey, they take care
This
of
is
that
where
one.
I live. I'm sorry. I live in a really good area then.
So thank you.
I appreciate your
Ron.
team, too. So he told me, now you have to correct, because Brian, I don't know if it's right or not, but he said we got pretty much 80 linear miles of road. Does that sound right? As I was asking how much, because we have our area we have.
I believe we have like 48 miles of road, so it's like double that. So if you call it lane miles, plowing one side and then the other.
Yep.
So yeah.
That's interesting.
Alleys and sidewalks.
Yep. When I was watching, and two, I was also watching Dudek Todd, I think it is.
Yes.
He was doing a magnificent job, too. That guy really knows how to work his equipment, and he pushed it out. Then our guys were sweeping, hitting it by, and our downtown looked beautiful right after that.
Yeah, I believe Todd has plowed down here. Don't quote me on this, but I bet you it's at least 25 years, and there's not a wasted motion that guy does that when he's down there. And
Our
if we-
bucket was picking it up. It was.
Yep. If we ever, that goes out to bid every 3 years. If we ever lose him, we'll probably have to hire 2 people to replace what he does. I think he can plow that with his eyes closed down there. I mean, he does a really great job down there, and
It was just like a well-oiled machine. It was so fun watching all these vehicles going past each other. We were going down Main Street, and then they were coming to get the sidewalk stuff, and then we were going past, and it was just amazing.
yeah.
It was fun. Thanks.
Yep, you're
And I
welcome.
apologize, I hijacked, but I did not thank you guys. And truly, we are blessed as a city to have the response that you guys put out there for snow removal.
And 100%.
Yeah, we are ridiculously blessed, and people don't understand the moments that they do call you. We're a very fortunate city to have what we have with you guys as public works.
Thank you. We take a lot of pride in it. There's a lot of planning that goes into it. When we have these big storms like this, it's tough when they last, if they're gonna last for a 24-hour period, because we only have the 10 guys, and just trying to break this up where we're gonna have to do, if we were getting 18 or 20 inches like they were talking about, we can't let that all go and plow that all at one time, especially this time of the year. As big as those trucks are, they won't push it. We won't be able to around the corners. So thankfully, we were able to take care of this. We went around 3 times. I know I took many calls where people were upset, but we have to go around multiple times because we just can't do it all in one push. So we went out at 4 a.m. The guys went out, plowed everything. We got done at about 10:30 in the morning. They took an hour break, ate some food, went back out again. We got done at about 6:30 that night, which was Sunday night, and then they came back in at 4 a.m. and did it all again. So
just to be clear, the complaints are that they had to go out and do the end of their driveway.
Shovel the end of
Yes.
the driveway again.
Now, I grew up in the St. Paul Midway. My buddy Mark still lives over on Blair, and I sent him a picture of me getting, in front of the truck, and I said, "This is what they call a snow plow. You've never seen one in the wild." And he goes, "I haven't." He goes, "Can you send him to St. Paul?"
Yeah, so, I understand when the snow is that heavy, it's a lot of work to shovel. But our main goal is and the main roads usually get plowed an extra time or two than the side roads. But we do that so we can try to get people out to work. We have to, the timing of the stuff, we do our best to try to get people out or consider, we don't like to be out in the middle of the day with people as much as the people don't like the plows being out there. So, there's a lot that goes into thinking about when we go out, the timing of it, how many times we do it. We do consider all that stuff. But, the main goal is to keep everyone safe and get them, letting them be able to go out and get to work or get home from work or whatever it might be, so.
All right, well, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Ron, are you still expecting tonight to be a plowable event?
Yes. I got a plan on the side of caution, so we're having the crew come in at 4 a.m. I know it'll be done sooner than it'll probably be out of here. I was looking at that back during the meeting. It looks like it'll probably be done 9 o'clock. It looks like maybe an inch and a half, but we'll see how it looks. The guys will come in. If we have to do something, we will. If we don't, so be it, so.
Great.
Thank you for everything.
Yep, thanks.
Also, I did make it to the North St. Paul Historical Society, so that was a great time. I had one guy who was talking to me that's been in North St. Paul 85 years, and the other one's been here 80 years. So, to all the different buildings, they're like you, reminding me of you when I was talking to them. They go four owners back on these buildings, and the doctor was here above this building, that was there, so it was really a great turnout, too. There was a lot of people that showed up for that, and it's always fun going to the events. The Historical Society, just a
They do a
great
good
group of
job.
people, and just a lot of fun. People want to come talk about the different things that have happened over the years in North St. Paul, so that was a great event, and I thank Sue and the group that does that. I know Elaine, I was talking to her, and she said she was pretty tired. She was working on it, and she does a great job, so we're very lucky to have those guys. All right, well, if nothing else, I'll
Mayor,
ask.
can I add
Sure.
one thing? I mentioned in the update with Public Works about losing a Public Works employee, but Chase Lenetti has worked here for 9 years, and he's been a great employee. He's been dedicated. They're a close-knit group down there, so it's tough when they lose somebody, but he just had a better offer there, closer to home and stuff. But I just wanted to thank him for his years of service here and the good job he's done.
That's great.
So, thank you.
All right, appreciate that. We appreciate all of our employees and what they do, so. A motion to adjourn, if nothing else, for April 7th is our next meeting.
That seems a long time.
I know.
I'll
especially
make a
look outside.
motion, yeah.
All right, Councilmember Schweer? Second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Nordby. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Next time we come here, we're going to be in shorts.
I would like to think that.
Yeah, now you've done it. Now it'll be snowing.